Hey everyone, it's the Gamer's Friend, and finally doing the Not Scary Farm update. I am really late with this. I've been really busy, so I'm sorry. But I did take notes, so everything is fresh, and I know everything happened in all the mazes. Theme Park Adventure has posted some of the Scary Farm videos, kind of refresh my memory, but I'm finally doing it. And Not Scary Farm 2012. I'm gonna do them all in order of the mazes for the map. So I went opening night, me and my brother. I have my sticker still. Yep, got my sticker. Anyway, the buffet, I got the 5 o'clock buffet. It was horrible. There were no lights on in the buffet. They finally got them on, I think, but I wasn't eating, so. There's no air conditioning in the buffet, so it was horrible. And sorry if I'm rushing this. I'm probably going to do this video in 3 parts because my account's been acting stupid and I can only upload videos that are up to 15 minutes long. So yeah, the buffet was just bad. The food was okay, but it was pretty bad. And they didn't have the souvenirs cups, so felt kind of like it was kind of a rip-off. And then the drink machine broke down. That's what I forgot, yeah. And they only had one thing working, was the berry punch. And it was only working on one of the machines. So, I don't care. That's all I wanted anyway, but still, it's bad. So let's go right in. Here's the map. See, I'm gonna do it in this order of this going down, not what this is. So start off. This isn't in order of the mazes that I did though. This is the order of the map itself. So for Trick or Treat, which was in a new Ghost Town warehouse that was made today, or made for this haunt, because basically mazes couldn't be put in public areas anymore because of the new management and GM and Raffi, and so these haunt things kind of had to be put back. So Trick or Treat, basically, was the Green Witch's house, and that's what the theming was, the 40th anniversary, and it was kind of a short maze. It kind of shortened lots of the mazes this year compared to 2011, but Trick or Treat was basically like the Green Witch's house. So like you go in, you like goes dark, and you like go through a kitchen, and there's like tricksters everywhere, and stuff like that. A couple of the scare spots in there were kind of predictable, some weren't, so it was like a good mixture. I didn't really like the lighting in some of the rooms, but that's why there's next year. But overall I think it was a good maze, especially being pretty much the icon of haunt this year. So give it 8.5 out of 10 for Trick or Treat. Then Endgames, which was my favorite maze from last year, and put in a new location, which I think was horrible. The maze was bigger and it had more stuff in, but the location is terrible, I think. That whole backlot with Gypsy Camp was terrible. Like, they didn't even expand Gypsy Camp like they said they were. They just moved the stage for Cursed and put it back. And then, so when you went back there, it was Endgames to the left, the Cursed stage, and Dominion of the Dead to the right. So, in this little area, you had End of the World, Gypsies, and Vampires. It was like too conflicting. There weren't even barriers between the mazes like I think they should have done. But back to Endgames. So basically, outside of Endgames, I was like, yeah, no, I liked it last year, Necropolis, but and then like I kind of went in. They tried to keep like the same type of thing that they did in 2011 with like the falling apart house and all the books everywhere, and also in Endgames there was a left or right option which I liked. Like after the house part, you go into the actual warehouse. Like there was a statue in the middle. You can go to the left or to the right, which I think was cool. More mazes need that. But Endgames, um, they said that they were gonna be playing Nickelback in the maze, but they didn't. They kept it with Winds of Plague and Arch Enemy and all the music that we love. They still had the online live stream. Anyway, it was about the same. It was the same type of thing. They had Rocky in there, and they had the Bungie, of course. He was in there. The sets are bigger. I'm glad they kept the elevation changes, because I like Endgames in 2011 was like you'd go up and you'd go down, so I'm glad they kept that. I like the lighting. I like what they did with the lighting, how the lights would go up and then they'd dim. So I'm going to give Endgames a 9.5 out of 10, because I like that. Then we got Dominion of the Dead, our next maze, our vampire maze, and also our tribute to Sandy was in there. But other than that, Dominion was new for this year, and it was kind of disappointing because from West Coast Bash, they showed a rendering of what the facade was going to be, and basically there was no facade at all. It was kind of like an archway when you walked into the warehouse, and they had some props out in the front, but there was no, like, nothing what they said they would be doing. But you know, that could be done next year, just money wise. The inside the maze had some new stuff. It was pretty cool. It was dark. It seemed like some areas were a little empty. But I like how they transitioned from the whole, you know, art gallery and then into the back of the art gallery, which looked a little bit different because they showed how the people were, you know, becoming the art and stuff. And Dominion Dead, the soundtrack was great. One of my friends really liked the soundtrack in there. But the scare spots in there were good, you know, because the actors had the whole like over raft thing that they can, you know, come at you from the side, the roof and stuff. I think Lockdown had that too, but it wasn't really used. Overall, I'd give Dominion like 8.5 out of 10, because there was like too many masks. That's what really killed it, I think, because Dominion of the Dead, it's vampires, there shouldn't be any masks in there, so that kind of ruined it. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that score. And then, of course, Delirium, coming back in its second year, is about the same. For some reason, they switched soundtracks. They put the soundtrack that was at the end of the maze in 2011, they played that out front, and then they played the song that was out front for 2011, they played that in the back. So, they played with that. They had the Pillar of Souls, which is like the main new thing that came. It was just the spinning tower of like faces coming out of it. Trying to think. Yeah, it was about the same thing. Same scare spots, which was okay. But if it comes back next year, they definitely need to change some things up, because that warehouse is pretty big, and they're not even using all the space in that warehouse. I know they aren't, because it's pretty short. Where's my time? Okay, and so Delirium, I'm gonna give about 8 out of 10. What do I do? Okay, I'm gonna do Terror of London. Supposedly Terror of London's last year here at Haunt. Got a new layout, which I liked. It's one of my favorite areas for a maze, because they can definitely have some of the bigger sets, of course, in there. Some new scare spots, some really good costumes. We saw Jack the Ripper, and also they had a left and right option in there, which was pretty cool. And when I say left and right option, it wasn't like a big thing like Sinister Point does. Left and right just means like you're in the same room, but you can just pick which side you want to go on, which is good because I think it's cool to give options to the guests. But it was the same ending. I thought, well, lots of people thought that they were gonna change it, but they didn't. So you know. And this looks at like a scene out of the slaughterhouse, basically. Like, has no, well, at least to me, it has like no relevance to like Terror of London, you know, Jack the Ripper and all the other people. But just because I like Terror of London so much, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10, just because it's like one of my mazes. Do I have time? Okay, this will be my last maze for this video. Actually, I'm gonna stop it here, actually, so see me in part 2, and then I'll put part 2 in the link below, and I'll probably have an annotation here, and subscribe.